Okay, I want to welcome everybody to today's training. Go ahead and unmute yourselves. Tell me where you're at today. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you're with me today as everybody's climbing on. How are we doing, Matthew?
Hey, Haas, how are you?
You're the co-host, brother.
Always, thank you.
How we doing today, everybody?
Doing good.
Donnie, what's up, bud? Good seeing you.
Awesome.
Good seeing you, man. We need to connect, okay? Good stuff. All right, y'all. I'm going to dig into it then. My name's Haas Pratt. If you guys are just joining us, if you don't know who I am, I wrote the book Listing Boss. If you don't have it, this is a great stocking stuffer, y'all, right here. Okay, get you some listing bosses. But what I want to do is I'm going to help you today, like I have the last few weeks. I've focused on the foundation of building a solid foundation for your real estate business, from the goals and the vision, what we covered last week, and then the business planning as well. So now we know what we want. We know how we're going to go get it. But what's going to determine how successful you are is how much you manage and own your time. You know, like you have good intentions now, but it's how do we stay consistent? What do we do to continue to grow and to continue to follow? Here's the answer. It's in managing. I'm crossing out managing in my mind, and I'm saying owning your time. So it's owning your time. Why not managing time? Because we don't manage, we own it. It's our time. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time, but the question is how do we get more juice from the squeeze? And I believe, y'all, that is what separates the most successful people is how they've invested their time. And so today I want to help you with that. I want to give you some tools, some distinctions, some nuggets to help you maximize your time and your efficiency. And I'm going to give you some tools in the chat. You can download those. And Matthew, as people come on, that's going to disappear. So we can just post that link a few times. Will you all do me a favor and click that link and let me know that you can see some resources in there? Do that for me. Thank you, Donnie. So in there's several different tools and resources that I'm going to cover today. So you can feel free to take those. You could print them off. You can keep them. But know that as I cover these things today, I'm going to give you these resources and tools. So you want to have these things printed off. Ideally, you want to have several of them in front of you all the time, because we want to create new habits, create new conditioning to where we don't have to think about it. We just show up and everything is maximized. Y'all with me on this? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. This is what it's all about. So I believe fear, I'm not going to cover a lot about fear today, but I believe fear is what keeps people from putting themselves out there and doing the right things. So like, I want y'all to aggressively eliminate fear in 2022. Whatever it looks like usually the answer is always fear. If you ask why me, why not, it's you're scared. And it's being vulnerable to have that conversation with yourself. So like, let's eliminate fear. Let's be vulnerable. Let's step into the unknown. Let's grow in 2022 to a level of which we have to have faith in order for it to even happen. Like, we're just going to think bigger. And so in this today, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some tools in time management. I'm going to share my screen. I do got a little slide deck for all of you SCs to keep you all on track and organized. I know you appreciate it. Again, that should say time ownership. Here's why, because in those 24 hours that we all have, either that day is going to run you or you're going to run that day. So remember, either you run the day or the day runs you. And I say this because I have over 6,000 hours of coaching realtors. And let me tell you something. When they come to me, a lot of times they're letting the day run them. They're waking up, they're letting their cell phone and their email control their day. Whoever's the first person to reach out, they don't have any structure throughout their day. Well, we're going to fix that today. So if you feel like that's you, don't worry, I got your back because we're going to fix it. But we got to create awareness first. So I know I've covered a lot of goal setting and things like that in the last few weeks. This is something I want you to do. I want you to look at the last 5 years. And you're going to hear me talk about growing a lot because I think over the last 5 years, we should have grown every year. Are y'all with me on that? Should we grow every year in every area of our life? Why? Because we have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. We're always growing, becoming, achieving the best versions of ourselves. So I want you to look at the last 5 years. Some of you haven't been in business 5 years. That's fine. I want you just to, let's just say you've been in real estate 5 years. I'm looking for where you've been. So let's say 5 years ago, how many homes did you sell? 4 years ago, how many homes did you sell? 3 years, 2 years, down to 1 year. And here's what I want you to do. And I'm going to give you a handout to help you with this. But if we were to draw a line across the results over the last 5 years, where would that line go? Would that line be straight? Every year we do the same. It's just the same year after year. It's the same. If that's you, or if it's going down where, last year wasn't as good as the year before, wasn't as good as the year before. I want you to look at, we got to get that we got to go the other direction. Our trajectory needs to increase. So if that's you and you look at the success assessment and you're staying the same year after year, it's because of fear. It's because of you're comfortable. And we got to shed that fear. We got to get uncomfortable because we want to go to new heights. To get to new heights, we got to stop doing what we're doing that got us to where we are, because what got us to where we are is preventing us from getting to the next level. So we're going to have to fire ourselves from actions and activities that we're currently doing. Y'all with me? You're fired. Like today, I want you to look in the mirror and say, you're fired. You're no longer doing that thing because you're doing that thing out of comfort. You're doing that thing and it's taking up all of our time. It's preventing you from reinvesting that time and higher leverage activities. So I want to give you the success assessment. It's in the link that I shared with you. You can download it. You can literally chart that graph, look at the goals. If you're, let's say you've been in real estate just a few years, then do your income. I don't care. I just want you to know the trajectory of which we are on a 5-year model. Okay? Because here's why. We want to get better. Of course, we want to get better. We're going to continue to get better. But listen, I'm a fan of gratitude. I think gratitude is what's going to help. It's the key to success. It's the key to fulfillment. It's being grateful for what we have, why we have, and why we pursue all we want. So think about this. Like, don't compare yourself to other people right now. Don't compare your insides to other people's outsides. Everybody is on a journey. Everybody has seasons. Everybody is in different places. Like you may be single with no kids. Well, look at time management's going to be different when you're coaching your kids' wrestling teams and you're running them around all over the country, right? Donnie, I mean, whenever you're doing these things, investing in different areas of your life, so I recognize that everybody's in different places. But what we want to do is we want to look at each area and we want to get more results in each. So with this, this is the growth chart that you can take and download. It's a template you can use. Share it with your team, y'all. For you folks that are doing agent attraction, this is a great tool to use. Sitting down with an agent that's looking at where they are, helping them get to where they are. If we can show them that they've been the same for 5 years and they're not getting the value that they once did, it gives us an opportunity, doesn't it? Because awareness is what leads to change, and a growth chart will create that awareness for you. The next thing is you got to know the value of your time. The value of your time is what are you worth per hour? So if we're going to ascend our time and in the next year, we're going to become twice as valuable to the marketplace as we are today. We got to know where we start. So here's what I want to know. How much do you make per hour right now? And I've worked with some of you on this over the last few weeks in coaching, is helping you get clear with what this number is, because this number is important. What is the value of your time right now? And I'm going to help you come up with that number. So take a look at this chart. So if you make $50 an hour, or I'm sorry, $50,000 a year, it comes out to on average $25 an hour. If you make $100,000 a year, you make about $50 an hour. If you make 200,000, you make $100 an hour. If you make 500,000, you make $250 an hour. So if I make $250 an hour, am I going to input the listing in the MLS? Why? Because I can hire somebody for less. So I don't want to ever do anything that I can do for less than $250 an hour. I'm not going to mow my lawn. I'm not going to clean my house. I'm not going to input listings. I'm not going to chauffeur buyers all around town if I can reinvest that time. So look at what you're worth per hour and delegate everything that you can do for less. And if you're doing things, if you're inputting listings and you make $100 an hour, that's what's preventing you from making $250 an hour. You're underestimating the time, effort, and energy that it takes to slow your cadence down, slow your momentum down, put yourself in the SC state in the middle of the day to input a listing. It's killing our productivity. So we don't want to touch anything that kills our productivity. You're fired. You're no longer inputting the listing. You're not taking deals from contract to close because we delegate to escalate. We want to free all of those things, the time, so we can invest our time in the money-making activities. Are y'all with me? I can't see y'all, but I'm just pretending y'all are with me. Okay. This is really important. So this is what keeps people the same, staying the same, making the same, is they get in these routines that they see value in, the worth that they're in. And I just want to encourage you to step out, fire yourself, and get real with your time, because it really doesn't matter how many hours you work. Time and effort have very little to do with making money. It's how many hours in your business are the money-making activities. Focused on the 80% that produces 20% that you're focused on. So the 20% that is going to produce 80% of the results. We want to find the 20%. We want to spend our time on doing the 20% that produces the majority of the results. Inputting listings isn't 20%. Taking signs across town isn't 20%. Meeting with the title company is not the 20%. That takes away from the 20%. I'm just going to scroll through and see your faces. How we doing, folks? Y'all doing good? Yes, yes. Good stuff. I like these thumbs up, man. Me too. There we go. There we go. Y'all are looking good today. And here's the thing. This is going to help you with create more freedom, because it's going to give you permission. And that's what I hope to do, is to give you permission to do things differently, because everybody around you is doing them the wrong way. You're going to be the only one that chooses to do the right thing. And just know that. So this is a model for you. And so it may be lonely. It may feel lonely because you're the only one doing it. I look at this like it's a jungle. So that 20% is the dirty work, quote unquote, that most people don't want to do. They're trying to avoid getting in the trenches, getting in the jungle. It's lonely in this place of productivity. It's lonely. I went to the gym this morning, y'all, this morning, every part of me didn't want to go. Every part of me, but I don't deserve to feel that way. I tell myself this, I don't deserve to feel that way. I don't deserve to feel that way. I'm not above that action. I'm not above making a call. I'm willing to go to the jungle to do the work, because that is where the results lie. And so I want you to mentally think of this place as it's lonely if you think about it the wrong way. I'll give you an example. I was in Vegas at the EXP convention. This young kid comes up to me. I won't mention his name. I'll keep him private, but he comes up to me. Most of you would probably know this young kid, full of ambition, man. I just saw myself in him, and I heard his story, and I'm like, I just wanted to pour into him. I wanted to give him a hug and his love on him, man. I'm like, this guy, man, he's around all the right people. He's super young. He's ambitious. He's willing to do the work. And here's what I told him. I said, he goes, what's your advice to me? I said, I want you to look at the next 2 years like a prison sentence. You're in the penitentiary of results. This is you're in solitary confinement in this penitentiary. And this is the penitentiary of results, where you have to do all the work that you don't want to do. The work that's the hardest, the work that is good, that is going to get you closer where you want to be. And I said, if you spend those few years of your life like most people won't, you're going to be able to spend the rest of your life living like most people can't. And that one distinction, I hope, sticks with him, because that's the distinction I had when I was listing 30 homes a month. Whenever I was in my office, Nobody was around. My door was shut. Do not disturb sign on the door with me. Just next. No part of it was glamorous. No part of it was, oh my God, I made it. But that work leads to the 80% of the results. And I want you to fall in love with that effort, fall in love with that place, because it's going to be required for you to take massive action, is to fall in love with the work, fall in love with productivity, fall in love with the place that you have to go. And I will tell you, every one of you will meet resistance before you reach that place. You will feel resistance in everything that you do. So expect resistance to come. Like I told you, I didn't want to go to the gym this morning. Every fiber of my being didn't want to go. What's that? That's the resistance. Every day before I would pick up a phone, I would be like, man, right? I'd be like, oh, I got things. Man, that's the resistance. And y'all are going to feel that same thing, and you're going to feel it every day. And I want you to know that, to expect it, but to get on the other side of it, because when you get on the other side of that resistance, you get in what's called flow. And flow is where productivity flows. So don't ever stop when you meet resistance. Don't give yourself permission to stop at that place. Always get on the other side of it. Even if you have to make one more call, send one more message, but get on the other side of the resistance, because discipline of this is the gatekeeper of success. And I'll tell you this, y'all, in this choice, and that is a choice, you're going to have two pains to choose from. It's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. So either way, we're going to experience pain. If I didn't get my big butt out of that bed to go to the gym this morning, it's going to be what? Pain or regret. Why? I'm going to feel like crap. Going to be a toad. You know what I'm saying? Going to be like not in a place I want to be. Instead, it's the discipline. It's the doing the work and the freedom that provides. So like, be the person that falls in love with the pain of discipline, and be disciplined in your growth. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want this stuff to cost you success, right? We don't want to look in the mirror and be like, man, I could have made it, but right. Because then it's a choice. Be disciplined in your growth, in your actions, your attitude, your learning, and your commitment. When I was, this morning, when I was running, I was looking in the mirror, and I reminded myself of the path that I set myself out on. I had this conversation. Don't forget what you set out on 25 years ago, boy. Don't forget what we chose to do, what we told people we're going to do. It ain't over. Like, we're just starting over. We got to keep going. And don't forget that choice that you made. And that constant reminder of your commitment to this. Like, y'all committed, you burned the boats, you told people, you quit your job, you got in, you took a risk. Like, we can't ever forget that commitment that we made to ourselves. And that commitment is going to require us to do things that other people aren't willing to do. That's why this whole planet is filled with employees, not entrepreneurs. Nothing wrong with employees, okay? I'm just saying, if you're an employee, we love you too, but like you get what I'm saying. Like, we want to be free. 2, high leverage activities. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop thinking about all the activities and all the things that you have to do, because you really don't have a bunch of things to do. You really only have a handful. And a lot of the things that you have to do fall under that handful. And if they don't, then you're not going to do it anyway. But like, to the level of which you become, your day is filled with your high leverage activities, your week is filled with your high leverage activities, will be to the level of which your level of productivity you can reach. So a high leverage activity, I'm going to give you this definition right here. Where is it? Actions that are most relevant to your strategic agenda, success, achievement, most directly impact the results that you need and want. The ability to identify and focus on these significant activities is the major factor in improving and accelerating results. So what are the actions? I call it big and easy. Y'all hear me say this all the time, man. It's like it's my mantra. But here's the deal. When you got skills and you have, and you're a skillionaire, you can do big and easy. Big and easy is not avoiding the work to get easy results. Big and easy is doing the work to now be able to choose where to invest your time and effort to get the maximum result, right? There's no escaping it. You can fake it till you make it, but you got to make it. So in our high leverage activities in real estate, here's what you do. I can't think of anything more important than these 4 things: prospecting, presenting, building relationships, and leading. That's your job as a real estate agent. You got to prospect for new business. You're unemployed every 90 days. So we got to keep that prospecting engine rolling. We got to keep systems, lead gen, lead conversion going, having lots of conversations with sellers and buyers. So we can present to them on listing appointments and buyer appointments and investor appointments and on video, and be able to present why they should use us, what we can do to solve their problem. The prospecting and presenting should be every day. Your day is filled with prospecting and presenting. The greatest agents in the world, all they're doing is presenting all day. They're just presenting. They're in one nonstop presentation. At some point they have other people prospecting for them, right? But like at the beginning, everybody prospects, but the prospecting engine never stops. So you may be somebody that doesn't have to do it in your business, but somebody is doing it. Building relationships is key, because this business is, it's about relationships. Agent attraction is about building relationships. Selling homes, this is about building relationships. So anytime we are spending time with people and building relationships, it's a good use of our time. And lastly is leading. You are leading yourself here today on this training. Good use of your time to being a leader. When you go and you teach this to your team, it's a good use of your time. When you're growing, learning, educating, that's leading. It's a good use of your time. At no point in here is $10 an hour work, folks. We're fired from the $10 an hour work that doesn't get us results, that makes us feel comfortable, but we already committed to be uncomfortable. So prospecting. Anytime we're following up with leads, calling our sphere of influence, our past clients, sending personalized videos to leads, outbound prospecting calls, calling a neighborhood, a farm area, holding open houses. This is where you want. This has got to be the most intentional time you spend every day in your real estate business to grow it. Is where in your day are you going to be the prospector, and how are you going to prospect? Some of you may love it. Some of you may not like it. The idea is you get good at it and you do it. So for me, I'm on the phone. I love the phone. I think the phone is the fastest way to reach people. You can use social media to get people on the phone. You can use direct mail and email, but all roads lead to the phone. It's the fastest place to get results. So prospecting every day in your business. Presenting is going on listing appointments, those buyer appointments. Some of you do webinars and seminars. I talked to somebody today who does seminars for her agent attraction. I was helping her on how to present it, how to structure it, how to framework her presentation for the opportunity. Shooting video, virtual presentations. Do more virtual presentations in 2022. Do a hybrid approach. Be able to go on the same amount of face-to-face appointments, but be able to go on just as many virtual presentations. One easy way to do that, by the way, is like set up a URL. Like I have meethoss.com. So if I want to meet somebody, I'll just go, hey, you in front of a computer? Hey, go to meethoss.com right now. I want to show you something. Boom, right there. I'm face-to-face with them. So be able to leverage that in 2022, I think is a big opportunity, doing more virtual presentations, especially post-COVID. More people are comfortable with that. So one area that maybe you grow is in presenting virtually more. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I would encourage it. Doing and building relationships, customer appreciation events. I had a coaching call this week with a gal. I said, I want you to do 2 customer appreciation events. Here's why. She does 20 million a year in volume, and 90% of her business comes from repeat referrals, her database. I said, what are you doing to communicate with your sphere? She goes, not much. Y'all see that opportunity? Huge opportunity. You're already doing 20 million with referrals, but we're doing nothing to communicate with them. So I said 2 customer appreciation events next year, bringing people together. one-on-one FaceTime, networking, personalized messages, handwritten notes. All of these things are ways to build relationships. I'm going to go through this next one because I'm going to move on. And then leading is team trainings, team meetings, coaching, mentoring, your daily huddles. Some of you folks have a big team. You need to meet every day, every week, and every month. So think of meeting every day for a huddle. Think of meeting every week for to plan the week with the team, and then every month to go over what was accomplished in the last month. It's a good meeting structure for you. This is where I would like to see you spending your time with these high leverage activities. I'm going to give you a tool to help you. You can download this in the link. And if you would, Matthew, if you put that link in there again, this link is it's an HLA1 sheet. I covered last week the different areas of goal setting, right? The different areas of your life. So what this does is it goes through and says, what are the high leverage activities for that area? What are the high leverage activities in the area of business that I can invest my time in that would extract maximum results? What are the areas, the top 3 high leverage activities that I could invest my time in that would be a big and easy way to get maximum results in physical health? What are those 3 things? And I want you to work on this, because remember, you don't have to have 77 things that you got to do. There's just a few that solve a lot of big problems. Y'all wait. So like, you don't have 100 things, just do that one thing that solves all the other problems. I'll give you an example, physical health. Like for me, if I don't eat gluten, I don't drink alcohol during the week, and I exercise, I don't have to worry about anything else. Okay. Like, as long as I just do those things. Well, what are you going to eat? Well, what are you going to do? I don't know. I just know if I do those things, that solves a lot of problems. If I prospect for new business every single day, if I promote for new business every single week, and if I have multiple conversations every day of one-on-one calls, I don't have to worry about anything in the area of business. So like the problem, what happens is if you don't know what these areas are, it leads to overwhelm, and overwhelm leads to inaction. And that's not where we want to be. We want to be away from overwhelm, and we want to be away from inaction, because you know why? That's where the pirates who do nothing live. You know what I mean? The pirates that do nothing, that live over there in the inaction world. That ain't us, is it, y'all? Is that you? No? Somebody's like, maybe. I know it ain't Tad. What's up, Tad, Monique? So here's what we do next. We give ourselves permission not have to do everything. So give yourself permission to not have to do everything. Give yourself permission to fire yourself. Give yourself permission to not have to do it all. And here's how a tool that helps you is when you do the hard things first. So and remember, you're a maker in the morning and a manager in the afternoon. When we do the hard things first, as we say, we eat that frog. It's the first thing that you do each morning. If you eat a live frog, you can go through the day with the satisfaction of knowing that is probably the worst thing that is going to happen to you all day long. The reason I prospected for new business every day and never missed a day in real estate from 9 to noon was because I felt like my day was done at noon. I felt completed. I felt like I did what I had to do that day. It gave me personal satisfaction, self-worth, made me feel like I got a day's work in all before noon. Because after that, honestly, like it's real estate stuff. And to me, real estate's easy. It's finding those buyers and sellers that's hard. Nothing in real estate happens until 12 o'clock noon anyway. This is so noon, I come up, we'll do real estate. But I'm making things happen from that 9 to noon. I'm eating that frog. And by the way, that happens every day because I never want to give myself permission not to do it. You know, I may be a little weird though. I grew up working on a dairy farm. I used to milk cows, mowed grass, like picked up cans along the side of the road to make money. I mean, my whole life has just been about doing hard things. So like, I don't look at this stuff as like, it's got to be glamorous. I look at it like it's just got to be done. And I'm not above it. I don't know about you, but I'm not above doing these things. I don't think I'm any better than anybody else to where I don't got to pick up a phone for business, or I don't have to do this every day. So these are things that I want you thinking about. Like, we're not above it. We're going to do it. And we're going to do the hard things first, because that's what avoids the procrastination. Here's what you don't want to do. Get to noon and you haven't had any conversations with buyers and sellers. And you're like, okay, when am I going to do it the rest of the day? Well, I got to pick up Susie at school at 3. Then I got that's where we want to eliminate all of our daily decisions. So today we're going to eliminate our daily decisions to where we don't have a bunch of decisions to make through the day of where we invest our time, because that will kill everything. Is if we're taking it hour by hour. So how do we do this? Well, we got to do these hard things first. Let me share this quote with you real quick. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. We've all heard that, haven't we? But we got to start becoming aware of what these things are. So here's a tool that I use to do this. It's called a MOLO. I do it all the time. In fact, I'm going to give you this. This is a handout you can use, print several off. These are something you want to do all the time. It's a MOLO sheet. MOLO stands for more of, less of. Everything on the left-hand side, you're going to brain dump. Brain dump everything that you need to be doing more of. Just start right now. Like, I like just working, because, we don't want to be a pirate that does nothing, right? That knows what a MOLO sheet is, but never completes it. Like, let's just start it right now. Right now. Left side, everything that you can do less of. What is it? Just go. Bloop, write down everything that you could do more of. On the left side. On the right side, it's everything that you need to be doing less of. Just get a couple down. Just get started. It's not that hard. Don't overthink it. Just brain dump it. And I want you just to keep going. Start going and keep thinking. And like, one thought will lead to the next thought. One door is going to open. You're going to realize, oh, these other things over here too. Oh, well, what about this? All right. That's what happens in creating and writing and thinking, is there's a thought that leads to the next thought. So when we're doing resistance and we're dealing with the resistance and we don't think that we can do it, we just know that now we can't, because one thought leads to the next thought. That's how you write books. That's how I create things, is it unlocks those doors, right? Most people get to that first thought that, it's a little, they got a jimmy it, they can't get in there and they stop. Not us. One call leads to the next call, to the next call, to the next conversations. All of a sudden, boom, there we go. We got a chunk of results. We don't ever go action by action. We look at it just next. All right. Then here's what I want you to do on the MOLO. I want you to write all the actions that you're going to take in the area of more of and the area of less of. What are those actions? And I want you to spend a few more seconds on this, because I just want you to get started. And this will help you with your team. So think about with your team too. Like, I know when I'm working with people, I'm always like, all right, let's do a MOLO. What do you need to be doing more of? Tell me everything that you need to be doing more of. Well, I need to be doing more reading. I need to do more prospecting. I need to hire an assistant. I need to do more team meetings. I need to pour into my people. I need to attract more agents. I need to have more conversations. I need to own my time. I need to, and you're going through all this, and then you're just, what comes to mind, and then you're going to come up with the actions that you're going to take. So we want to bring these things to light. And we're at a place this time of year where this is where we need to be doing these things. We want to get, we're about to fire ourselves. So we really need to know what this stuff is. We can't just have it in our brain and make decisions. We need to trust this process. So the MOLO sheet will help you do it. Next is I want you to create a daily method of operations. And a daily method of operations is this, it's every day. This is the schedule that you follow. So if I'm your boss and I'm your manager and you work for me, I'm going to give you a schedule. And I want you to come up with your own. I want you to be your own boss, because if you don't have a daily method of operations, you're going to work for somebody that's going to give you one. Okay. Y'all with me on that? Like, you either prospect for new business or you're going to work for somebody that prospects for new business. Regardless, somebody's prospecting for business. we have a daily method of operations, or we work for somebody that gives us a daily method of operations. So get in the habit of managing yourself. And to do that is like submit to that authority, right? So submit to that. Like, look, we're not above it. Like, let's give you a daily method of operations. This is going to make you feel so much more productive. It's going to give you a structure to follow. So here's what I'll tell you. I'm going to give you this. And in fact, I'm going to give you your own, and I want you to create your own for your day, what that looks like. And I want you to follow that Monday through Friday. And I want you to structure it. So like from 9 to noon, for example, if you're prospecting for new business, that means that you don't show buyers around from 9 to noon. We don't veer off of this schedule. You're going to respect yourself more when you have this. Your clients are going to respect you more too. And we want to become habitual in following it because it creates the habits that we need to take. I'll tell you, or not, and we circle the drain and struggle. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know, like we either have a daily method of operations, or we're always going to struggle to have a daily method of operations. If there are any other way, I would tell you, I promise you. Okay. Now, some of you may have a secret weapon. I don't know, but the rest of us, we got to work and we got to do the right things. All right. Keep trucking here. Prepare at the beginning. This will help you. So as I said, we're going to prepare at the beginning of each day. So just a quick brief. What you got? What's your rundown? The daily runway every morning. Have your cup of coffee. What are we going to do for the day? What are the high leverage activities? Remember, how are we going to prospect, present, build relationships, and lead for that day? Man, I got to take a sign across town. No, you don't. You don't do that anymore. Wait, well, what do I do instead? Man, I got to get on the phone. I got to call these old expireds that expired at New Year's so I can try to get some listings because inventory is low. I'm going to prepare at the beginning of every week for the week. Success starts on Sunday. So Sunday is the day to do that. Take an hour every Sunday to get ready for the week. Prepare at the beginning of every month. Look at last month's results. Set your goals and intentions for the month ahead. And every important metric, whether it be agents that you've attracted, whether it be homes that you've sold, whatever those metrics are, we want to track it every month. We want to bring it to light. And then year, which is why I've spent so much time talking about this in the last few weeks, because we're preparing at the beginning of the year for 2022. Y'all with me on this? We're preparing for 2022 now. That's why all these things are important. We're taking the whole month of December and we're getting all this stuff dialed in. Number 6 is eliminate daily decisions. I love this one. This is like my favorite. This one right here makes my life so easy. You know why most people don't stick to an daily method of operations? Because they don't eliminate daily decisions. So think about everything that we do every day. I have a theory. If you do something every day, then I don't think you need to make that decision. I don't think you need to think about it every day, because thinking to me takes energy. It takes creative energy. It takes focus. So if I'm sitting there and I'm, wondering what it is I'm going to wear for the day, and I walk in my closet and I spend 20 minutes looking around, like, y'all, I mean, that's taking us off the game. That's taking us out of flow. If I'm, wondering what I'm going to eat for breakfast, that's thinking that's a decision I shouldn't have to make on the daily basis. So what choices can you make that you can eliminate that you do every day? So what to eat, what to wear, what to do next, who to call, what time to wake up, go to bed. I want you to simplify this area. Like, simplify your eating. So maybe part of your planning for the week is you have a meal prep plan. So you don't have to think about eating the rest of the week. Why? So we can focus on prospecting and presenting instead. We can be efficient. What if you think about what to wear? Like, I wear the same thing all the time, y'all. I got like the same shirt right here. I have several of these. Like, you think I'm always wearing the same clothes? I am. They're different. I'm a clean freak. So like, I change clothes. Like, I'm not, there's nothing I wear is dirty, but like, I have the same pair of jeans, the same pair of shoes, the same shirts, the same everything. So when I show up to my closet, I ain't got to think about it. Like, I'm like this, like Steve Jobs. He's the one who gave me this idea. Him and Mark Zuckerberg. These dudes, they walk in, they wear the same thing every day. Now, I know for some of you, that's a little harder to do. Okay. But I'm just saying, where can you, maybe you get ready for the next day. Like my kids go to school. I got to get them prepared the night before, so we don't start doing these decisions the day of. And realtors really need to do this, because the last thing we want to spend is a precious 20 minutes in that 8 to noon time thinking about what to wear, thinking about where we're going to go eat. And I'll tell you this, that's the difference between high performance people and your average person. So like, those are like when you're around a high performer, like my mentor, Tony Jerry, my coach, he's written 55 books. This guy is obsessed. I mean, when you walk to his closet, every single thing is layered. Everything's the same. Like that's what gave me so many ideas. I saw him. I'm like, geez, this is brilliant. Same shoes, same ones, same everything. And it's to eliminate these daily decisions. But we got to be more high performance, right? If we're going to reach the highest levels of our potential. So the benefits of keeping things easy, it preserves our thinking. It helps you make better choices, waste less time, less stress, less wasted energy. And here's one thing I will tell you. Don't underestimate the wasted energy. I think that's a blind spot that give people permission to do these things, is they don't think of the energy that is exhausted. Like, I'll give you an example. I don't, and this is a little personal, but I don't call my family before I have to be productive. Okay. I don't call friends before I have to be productive. Now, when I say family, I of course don't mean my wife and kids. I'm talking about extended family, if you all know what I'm saying. Okay. Like why? Because I want to protect my state, my mood, like my being. So like, become aware of your state. Are you picking up the phone pissed off? Like that person is not going to convert. So be aware of your state. What are you doing to put you in that pissed off state before you pick up the phone? Well, you're calling your mom on the way to the office every day, who's telling you that you need to go get that other job, right? These things. Of course, that doesn't happen to y'all, but bring these things to awareness and eliminate these. People will love you for it, by the way. That's what learning to say no is. As Jim Rohn says, learn how to say no. Don't let your mouth overload your back. Does anybody feel that way? You volunteer too much? And there's nothing against volunteering, but there is when it gets out of hand. You know what I mean? Like you can apply your time to better places. That's why like things like, wasted meetings. No, I don't do those. Unproductive habits. I don't golf. You know why I don't golf? Because I think it's a waste of my time. Not saying some of you all golf. I just think it's a waste of my time. I don't watch sports. I'm not obsessed with sports because I think sports are a waste of time. I'm not a gigantic fan. I mean, I'll be the one that slides into home and I will watch the Super Bowl. Okay. I'll watch a few games but like, I'm not spending every Sunday on my couch watching NFL. I'm not spending every Saturday on my couch watching college football. Those are unproductive habits. So what are the unproductive habits that we can say no to? Negative people. I do a no drama zone. No, there's no negative people in my life. If there are, they don't last long because I don't do negativity. I'm a light, y'all. You know what I mean? We're lights. Negative people don't like me. So doing what the masses are doing, we don't do any of that stuff either. The need to be entertained is a habit that we say no to. I don't need to be entertained. I don't need the jungle to be entertaining. I don't need to feel like everybody's watching me in the jungle. I don't need everybody's attention and crave that. And I'm not comparing other people to me. I'm not looking at what they got, what I don't got. Y'all with me on this? Kills productivity, kills your mindset, giving your time away without intention. All of these things are what we got to say no to because there's time vampires out there that just want to suck on us and suck our time. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about time vampires in your life. Are there any time vampires that suck your time? Who are they? And I want you to stop giving them all of that time. Stop giving them permission because they will always do that. You're giving them permission to do it. You're not doing them any good by giving you more of your time. So recognize the time vampires, because the time vampire is addicted to sucking time. And so just recognize who they are. Like I'm not saying don't take their call. If I'm taking a call from a time vampire, here's how I'll answer it. Hey, Susie, I got 5 minutes before I step into my next appointment. What's up? Right? Hey, Susie, I got 5 minutes. Time vampire. That's all you're going to get today. You ain't getting no 50 minutes. So that right there is learning to control your environment and the people around it. And I'm going to leave you with this. I knew I threw a lot at you today, but I knew that y'all can handle it. So I'm going to take it up a notch. Create a life timeline. This is probably what I don't share this all the time, but I don't know why I don't. But like, it's like people's favorite thing. Oftentimes they love the life timeline. And here's what the life timeline is today is a certain date and a certain year, and you're a certain age. Tomorrow is going to be a different date, 5 years, 10 years. Here's the question. Where are you going to be at different stages of your life? And where do you want to be at different stages? So I'll give you an example. How long are you going to do this? And where do you want to be at the end of this? Or is there an end? And think about looking at your life, and you don't have to do this all the time, but like you want to do it at least one time. It leaves an impression. It leaves a mark when you look at your life this way. And I'll give you this. In 2015, this is me. Okay. I am not 34 today. I'm 40. So this was 6 years ago. So I did this in 2015. I want you to look. And I wrote down my age. I was 34. My wife was 37. My daughters were 9, 3, and 2. And I wanted to know, where are we going to be in 3 years? How old will we be? What year will it be in 3 years? And I put all of our the year and all of our dates from 5 years to 10 years. So look at 10 years. This is, again, from 2015. It's going to be 2025. I'll be 44. My wife will be 47. I have a 19-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 12-year-old. Where do I want my life, business being at that stage in my life? Well, I'm going to have a couple teenage daughters, so maybe I'll be traveling the country doing seminars. No, I'm kidding. I won't be here with them, but you get the idea, right? Like, where am I going to be when in 2030, when I'm 49, my wife is 52, I have a 24-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 17-year-old. It's 2030. That's in 9 years. Yeah, almost 8, 9 years. Where do I want to be? Here's where I want to be. I want to be done. So when I say done, I'm done, because at that stage, my kids are going to college and I can go somewhere else. I can travel the world if I want. I can go move away from Texas because now my kids are out of school. My kids' school is important to us, so I'm not going anywhere until then. But I know that I have 8 years. And so what this does is it does what? It makes, like, I'm 40. Like, well, people say, well, you're still kind of young. No, I don't. I'm not. I got 8 years. So how many do you have? Where are you going? Where do you want to be? So I'm going to make choices and decisions based on that. So, for example, we just lost a dog. I know one of our dogs died, old Texie. He was 13 years old, passed away. We love Tex. Tex is a great dog. Now we have Penny. Penny's 11 years. Am I going to go buy my family a new dog? See, when you have a life timeline, you can make these decisions. And the answer is no. Why? Because I want to be traveling the world in 8, 9 years. And having a golden doodle is not a big and easy way to travel the world. So like when we are able to look at time this way, it allows us to condense it. It allows us to see our time different. It allows us to put, I like to think of, like, you can see at the top, the building years, the earning years, the giving, the serving, the living the dream, the smooth sailing, the leaving a legacy back, right? This is well-intentioned. Is it going to be perfect? Nope. But I'll get close. I'll get 87% there. Why? Because I'm aware. I have a desire. And so with this, and by the way, I have one that has all my dogs and all my in-laws and everything on it. It's really a really fun exercise to do. And that's why I wanted you to do it. So I gave you all a life timeline. Create it. Put all your loved ones there. Let's see where we're going to be in 5 years, where we're going to be in 10. It's going to create awareness. Like I look at that, I'm like, man, I'm gonna be, I don't know if I'm going to pay for college, but part of me is like, am I going to pay for college? Like where am I going to be then? And so why do we do this? Because we have to, if we want to master and own our time. So here's our action steps today. Team, complete the growth chart. All these are in your link. You have all of these. Know what your time is worth and where we are going to go. What's it going to be worth next year? Know you and your team's HLAs. I want you to spend time on this in addition to the goal setting that we've already done. I want you to work on the HLAs. These are the actions that you're going to commit to doing. So to do this, you'll complete the HLA one sheet, which is the high leverage activity one sheet, a daily method of operations that you're going to have. It's a schedule you're going to commit to every single day because you're not going to give your time away. You're going to own your time. Complete the MOLO sheet now and often and eliminate daily decisions. Say no first, then consider a yes. And create a life timeline. All of these tools will help you own your time. I can't think of a better way to create the awareness, to create the action plan of what you can do to maximize your days. And so I look at, it's a choice. Like from this point on, it's a choice. Like some will, some won't. So what? I mean, why? I've been in real estate long enough, coaching people long enough. What separates the agents that thrive to barely survive? It's this right here. It's their ability to do the most important things that drive the results and continue to do it consistently and to be able to grow from it. So like, this is where I'd like to see all of you living in the next year, a place that you're not a pirate that does nothing. You're in a place in the jungle that is being productive, that is doing everything in your absolute power to thrive in your life and business. Looking in the mirror and saying, look, I gave it my all. There's nothing I didn't do. Because you don't want to look in the mirror and be like, man, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Because remember, it's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And the pain of regret weighs tons. And the pain of discipline is just ounces. So the pain of discipline is always the way to go. So with that, y'all, I hope this helps you today. You have a link there with all of your resources and everything. Take this, apply it, and implement it. And let's go out there and commit to it and make 2022 our best year ever. So with that, y'all, I'm out of time today. I appreciate y'all joining me. I'll see y'all next week.